Today we are going to learn about for loop in JavaScript. Now counters in JavaScript is an essential part to execute looping in JavaScript. We will see to that with a for counter in this tutorial. A for counter uses following syntax. There goes the syntax. First of them is the variable declaration. That means we need to declare a particular variable, and then comes the condition and the increment or decrement of the values of variables. And then within these curly brackets or parentheses, we will be using the statement that should be executed into your HTML page. So let's now analyze the syntax above. The first thing that comes within this for statement is variable. Now unlike in a normal case variable declaration where a var declaration was made, no need to mention the same way here. Just set the value and you are all set to go. That means as we have seen in our normal case where a variable was declared using a var synonym ahead, no such thing is required in this particular case, and all we need to do, we need to just assign that variable and we are all set to go. And then comes the condition. What should be the condition of the counter? This has been mentioned in this segment. Then comes the statement. Now after these conditions are satisfied, then only the execution of statements will be occurring. The counter is then forwarded to the next loop. And surprisingly, being the last entity of the states inside the first bracket while declaring for loop, after the execution of the statement, then only the counter shall increase or decrease. The loop is moved ahead in this segment to complete the next process in the counter until the condition is or are made. This whole tutorial is divided into two parts. How to employ looping into your JavaScript programming using a very simple or basic example that we will be acquainted with, and in the immediate next part we will know the usage of complex conditions in your for loop counter nested with an if-else block inside. So all you need to do, you need to watch both the videos till end. So here comes part 1 of these two videos, and we'll be starting with a basic example of for loop counter. Hello and welcome to another new episode of Learning Simplified. In this tutorial we are going to learn about looping. Now here is the outcome. Let's have a glance of what we'll be learning in this tutorial. So we can see that this is number 2. It has been looped here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there comes a condition. Here it is, and again we can see that welcome folks, this line is been repeated 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. So here's the thing that we are going to learn in this tutorial. Watch the video till end. Now let's start typing. First of all, let's start with a very simple procedure using the syntax. The using of the syntax for looping is, here it goes. This is the first bracket and this is the second bracket. This curly bracket indicates the second bracket here, and here inside the first thing that is coming here, it is variable separated by a semicolon. Then comes the condition, and then comes the increment or decrement that you want to use into your object. So here it goes. Now what does it mean? In the first case, all this JavaScript or any sort of programmings, those are required to be declared with a variable. This is the first criteria or condition that is to be made. In the second case, we need to specify the condition under which condition this looping will occur, and in the third case we need to increase that particular state, that particular variable into its next or into its previous state. That could be immediately next or previous one, or that could be some steps ahead or some steps behind. So that is why first of all, if we declare it as I equals to 0, then we are declaring as I lesser than equals to 10, and in the next case we are depicting here as I plus plus. So you can see that this meets actually the condition. This is the variable that you have declared in the first place. Then you have declared the condition, that means I is lesser than or equals to 10 or not, and then you decide the increment here I++. So this is the first thing that you need to place over here. In the second case, we are declaring, and at the last phase we are providing a line break tag. Here it is. Now here's the question, what should be the outcome over here? Let's have an analysis. Here the first thing, we have set a variable and we have set a value against that variable. This is the first thing. In the next thing, we have provided the condition that the value of this variable should be lesser than or equals to 10. The corresponding document.write hello cruel world, this line will be printed, and there's a line break tag in each of these segments. And then the loop steps ahead. We have used an I++, that means there will be a +1 step increment. If you want more than that, then all you can do, you can just provide here +5. If we provide here +5 here, what should be the output? Let's have a check into our output. So let's get back to our project and reload, and we can see that it is practically 3 times this whole looping has been occurred over here. Now let's check why it is 3 times, why it is thrice. In the first place, if we place I equals to 0, 0 is of course lesser than 10. So it is then printing hello cruel world, and then it brings on a line break tag, and whenever it is done, in the next phase +5 is added. That means I equals to 5 now, and 5 is of course lesser than 10. So that is why in the second phase we are printing here hello cruel world second time, and then the line break tag comes into action again. And in the third case, now the value is 5, and this value is a +5 increment, so 5 + 5 10, and in the condition we have placed as I, the value of I should be less than or equals to 10. So 10 equals to 10, so it will print again hello cruel world, and then the line break tag will come into action. But in the next phase, now the value of I equals to 10, 10 plus 5 equals to 15, and 15 is not less than 10, neither equals to 10. So the loop will end and everything will be reset into order. And that is why we see here you see this is the first time, second time, third time, 3 times this document.write, this has been put into action. This has been printed into your HTML browser. Now if we place here plus instead of this one, what will be the outcome? Get back to your project and reload, and you can see hello cruel world. This has been printed 10 times. Let's count it. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11, not 10 times, 11. So why it is 11? You have started it from 0, not from 1. And if you want to print it 10 times, then all you need to do, you need to provide here I equals to 1. The value of I should start with 1 instead of from 0. Now let's get back to our project and reload. And now if you count over here, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 times it is now printed over here. Now we are aware of this fact that a variable should be declared first, and then the condition should be placed, and then the increment should be occurring into your project. Now what if I get a little bit of more complicated?